Hello, this is Danielle from fermentedfoodlab.com, where I teach people how to make fermented foods using my simple and safe methods. And today I'm going to talk about what happens when you ferment foods. So when you submerge your vegetables in a saltwater brine or you're making sauerkraut, what the heck's going on in there? This method of fermentation is called Lacto fermentation. And Lacto fermentation is the oldest form of food preservation in the world. Long before we had refrigerators, this is a method people use to ferment their harvest. And Lacto stands for Lactobacillus bacteria, which is the bacteria that are good for our gut. They create lactic acid, which gives the fermented foods that amazing and delicious tangy sour flavor, which I love, and you probably love too. That's why you're here. And lacto fermentation only involves your vegetables, salt, and water. And when you make sauerkraut or pickles, and you submerge everything in that saltwater brine, it creates this anaerobic environment that is free of oxygen, that only allows lactobacillus bacteria to survive and kills off any harmful bacteria that are bad for us in the process. All right, so I'm going to really simplify these stages of lacto fermentation. I'm not a microbiologist, so I'm going to dumb it down. And I dumb it down for myself because I'm not going to be able to explain any crazy microbiologist stuff. So I'm going to show you what it looks like as well. So you can see one of the stages taking place, and you can tell that fermentation is happening. So in stage one, during stage one of lacto fermentation, this is when you make the saltwater brine and you submerge all of your vegetables in a jar under the brine. What happens is first the salt kill off all the harmful bacteria that are bad for us, and only lactobacillus survive at this stage. In stage two, the lactobacillus bacteria start eating the lactose, all the sugars and food for them that are found on the vegetables, and converting those to lactic acid and probiotics. It gives it that wonderful tangy flavor. And if you look at these slides, you can see the difference of stage one before, this is just in the saltwater brine. The brine is really clear, the vegetables are really bright and colorful, and then you can see evidence of the stage two taking place. It's cloudy, you'll start seeing air bubbles forming, they'll get a little bit bubbly, you can start smelling this, it'll start smelling sour, and the vegetables start looking dull in color. So you can see when you make fermented foods, you can see evidence of these stages taking place, and then you know that if the brine is cloudy and there's bubbles, that it's going on, that fermentation's happening, that it's safe. If you're totally new to making fermented foods, or you've made fermented foods before but just didn't like how they turned out, maybe they tasted bad or they're too mushy or anything, or you just didn't have the confidence to try them, then you should join my new online course called Fermenting Veggies. And in Fermenting Veggies, I'm going to cover everything you need to know to make fermented foods at home in online videos. I'll cover how to make lacto fermented pickles, sauerkraut, how to troubleshoot your ferments, as well as so much more. I'm going to be offering tons of support through this online course, through email, live Q&As, and so much more. So learn more about the course and sign up for the waiting list below, the links below. All right, I hope to see you there.